Okay, so welcome back. Let us do our driver utility method really quickly. We're using a singleton design pattern, and we're also going to use encapsulation in order to create this. So let's get started. So the first thing we need is a private constructor. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a private static WebDriver driver, and because we want to close access from the outside class, we're making it static because we want to use it in our static methods. Now our next step is to create a utility method. We're going to pass different types of browsers in here. So let's begin. So public static WebDriver, getDriver, okay, so I'm also going to do my exception handling inside this getDriver method because it's so much easier and better to handle it in here. So we're going to say if our driver is null, we're going to read whatever is in our configuration properties, and that would be our browser. So remember, our configuration properties, we access it through our configuration reader. So that's how we have to do it. And so equal configuration reader dot get property, and we're going to pass browser. All right, I want to take a little pause here just to remind you that in our last video, we created this utility, this method here in our configuration reader called getProperty, and it reads a string called keyword. We're getting this from our configuration properties. Browser equal Chrome. That's how we're doing that. Just in case you missed the last session, I just want you to be on board with what's going on here. Okay, now let's do a switch statement now, and we're going to pass the different browsers that we're going to test on. So switch, we're going to pass browser type, and okay, so our case is Chrome. Okay, and then what are we going to say? We're going to say WebDriver Manager dot Chrome driver, and we're just going to set it up. That's how we want to do that. And then we're going to say driver equal to new Chrome driver. Okay. And then we're going to break out of this loop. We're just going to add a break statement here. Now let's do our other two browser types. Again, you could do multiple, as much or as little browser types, whatever your organization uses. Let's do Firefox. So it'll be WebDriver Manager Firefox driver dot setup, and driver equal to new Firefox driver. Here we go. And then we're going to break. The last one I'm going to do is one that I particularly like to use, is our headless Chrome. So for headless Chrome, you do have to instantiate the Chrome options. So let's do that here. You have to create an object of Chrome options. So Chrome options equal to new Chrome options. All right, so now that we have the object created, let's add an argument to the to our Chrome options. So we're going to say options add arguments. And what arguments are we adding? We're adding headless. Okay. All right. And then driver equal new Chrome, and we need to pass options here to ensure that it pulls up the headless option. All right, so of our options, now let's add default. We want to ensure that if someone puts anything that is not one of these browsers or one of the browser type that you specify that you're going to use, it's going to throw an illegal argument. We're going to throw a new illegal argument exception, and we're just going to put a little note here to say on unsupported browser, and that looks good. Now the other thing that we're going to do, let us also handle when we set up our browser, we want to do something with the browser. So let's do driver.manage .window. Let's maximize our browser every time we start it, and also let's add a little bit of a timeout here as well. Driver.manage .timeouts. Let's do an implicit wait because we're not really looking for anything. We just wanted to do a wait. And let's do duration of seconds, and we're going to pass 10 seconds in here. So every time we start a new browser, it's just going to set it up, maximize it, and wait for 10 seconds. That's what we're going to do here. Now let us find where we have our try. Okay, now let's put a catch here. And what are we catching? So in our catch block, we're going to do an exception. And of course, if you want to do it without the try and catch, you could also do that. It's totally up to you. There are multiple ways of doing it. This is just how I like to do it. It's kind of like very like it handles all the exceptions, because in this catch block we're going to also do a log. Again, we don't have log4j or anything, so we're just going to use a print stack trace here. So e.print stack trace here in our to log our exceptions, and then let us throw a new runtime exception. Throw new runtime exception, and let us put a message in our runtime exception. Now, runtime exception, of course, what we're doing here is if the browser fails to set up, we just want a message saying, okay, hey, this browser failed to set up, and this is where it failed to set up. So let's do that. So whatever when the exception is thrown, we're going to get the message, and we're going to return E from here. Okay, that looks good. Now let's come in here and let us return our driver. Okay, so here, oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. You need to put it outside here. There. So not very happy I put it right on the default. It actually has to be outside of the browser type. Outside of our switch statement, my bad, we need to put this here. All right, there we go. Now, one last step that we need to do is we need to also create a method to close the driver. So let's do that really quickly. And we're going to say if driver is not equal to null, then quit. Dot quit. And then after we quit the driver, we want to reassign the driver back to null so that our singleton could start over again and create a new driver instance. So we're going to say driver equal to null. All right, and that's it. That is our driver method here. Again, you could get this on my GitHub. I do have a link to my GitHub if you want to get this code. That is it. Thank you so much. I'm just going to scroll through very slowly for you to get a quick look at the code. Setting up driver. Ensure everything is spelled correctly. All right, so that's it. Feel free to drop me a line and subscribe to my channel. Our next utility method we're going to work on is our browser util. For our browser utils, I might do that in multiple series because it is a lot of utility methods. I've been writing down quite a few that I want to do so that we could learn together. And again, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to learn Java, I will be doing Learn Java with me. So stay tuned. Happy testing and have a great day.